Hi, this is Lori Youngdahl with Oils for Rookies, and I just wanted to share with you a little bit from one of my favorite books on gut health and cleansing. It's called Inner Transformations Using Essential Oils. It's a powerful cleansing protocol for increased energy and better health, and it's written book by two chiropractors, Dr. Leanne and Dr. David Dearduff. And I read this many, many years ago. It's so simply written and it gives such great advice, especially for people in the Young Living community. So, why do people do a cleanse? Well, one of the most important things is our gut. Our digestive tract has got to be in top condition in order to help us to ward off illness. And when we've got clogged or sluggish digestive tract, that means that there's not as much nutrition that's going to be going into the body. In fact, she found that sometimes individuals get really not very much nutritive value from their food, even when they're eating good, healthy, organic, raw foods, just because they have a sluggish or a clogged digestive tract. She said that she's microscopically examined blood from people who were claiming to eat really wholesome foods, and she found that in some cases their red blood cells were showing signs of malnutrition or even lacking B vitamins, vitamin C, vitamin E, iron, calcium, and just some of the other important minerals to the body. And this was a result, she felt, from long-term neglect of the digestive tract. So, when you've got a little bit of toxicity combined with poor nutrition, it can kind of lead to some of the illnesses like allergies, chronic fatigue, fibromyalgia, infertility, just among some of the others that are sort of directly related to the digestive system. She says in her book that as many as she feels that as many as 90% of allergies tend to clear up with a really solid program of a colon and a liver cleanse. So when you're cleansing, you need to, this is her book. You can find this on Amazon. It's called Inner Transformations Using Essential Oils. So when you're cleansing, you need to take the right herbs and oils that are going to be pushing the intestinal contents along in order to help restore the normal motion, the motility of the colon. And you're going to need enzymes that are going to help break up the mucus in the lining of the bowel. So a lot of people, they'll just take laxatives, and what that does is it just relaxes the colon, or it can help thin the fecal matter so that it's easier to move. But the problem is that that can affect the muscle tone of the colon, and it makes it lazy, and so it can make it dependent on laxatives. And sometimes people even become dependent on enemas that they use to get stools out. Again, that's the muscle that gets kind of toned down because there's not as much work that needs to be done. They do have value, but it's something to keep in mind. So the goal of a good colon function is to be having between 2 and 3 bowel movements a day, and they need to be fast and easy to pass, well formed, and float in the toilet. How's that for a lot of detail for you? So, when you're doing a cleanse, that's your goal that you have in mind. And she says that some people take 6 weeks in order to get there, and other people take a year, but that the majority of people take around 3 months in order to accomplish this. And that a good colon cleanse is something that's really well balanced, that's also going to be supporting kidneys and liver while you're doing the cleanse. And, you need to have some herbs in there that are going to do the job of breaking up the mucus, releasing that caked on lining from the bowel, absorbing toxins, stimulating that peristalsis, that wave-like muscle action that gets things moving, and also adding bulk to help move the intestinal contents all the way through the system. So the Young Living Cleansing Trio is one that she recommends, and it's the one that's available from the Young Living site. And it's got enzymes that help you digest your food until your body can do it on its own. And some of the other colon cleanses out there, she says, are not very well balanced because they need to have certain ingredients that are necessary to be supporting the liver and the kidney. And so some of the other cleanses that you might do, they're kind of rough. You might feel really nauseated or achy or headachy or gassy. And she said that one of the things that she likes about the Young Living Cleansing Trio is that it's a little bit more gentle. She does qualify it and say everyone's different in how much of a colon cleanse that they might need. But she says no matter what way you approach it, you really need to be drinking a lot of water, like 3 quarts, 12 8-ounce glasses of water a day. So her protocol and what she recommends is you start out with a ramping program. So you start out by taking one Comfortone capsule in the morning. And then on day 2, you would take one capsule in the morning and one of them at night. And you keep going like this, increasing each capsule per day, like adding one in the morning, then add one at night, alternating days until you've got yourself to the point where you're moving 2 to 3 good bowel movements a day. And she says, don't be alarmed if your intestines get a little bit gurgly, because it's creating activity where there was really just stagnation. Now, let's talk about the ICP part of it. Let's see, let's get to the ICP. So the ICP part of it is it's a powder that you're going to mix with juice or water, and you want to make sure that you mix it and be prepared to drink it pretty quickly because it does get thick. That fiber gets thick, and you want to be swallowing that down. So you start out with you start out with 1 teaspoon of ICP on day 1. This is after you've done the Comfortone for a while. You do the Comfortone first to make sure you're getting to 2 to 3 good bowel movements a day. Then you're going to add in the ICP, 1 teaspoon in the morning. And then from there, you're continuing taking the Comfortone. Then from there, you're going to be adding an additional half of teaspoon of ICP each day until you've achieved the large bulky stools and are not constipated. And the founder of Young Living, Gary Young, suggested that you continue adding that half teaspoon of the ICP until you get to 1 tablespoon a day in the morning and a tablespoon a day at night. And what the Comfortone does is it's activating your bowel, and then the ICP is adding the bulk and a little bit of scrub brush scouring action to help carry all that gunk away. Now let's go back to talking about the enzymes. It comes with Essentialzyme, but you can substitute Detoxzyme instead. Detoxzyme is a vegetarian option. Essentialzyme is not vegetarian. So in Leanne Dearduff's book, she recommends taking the Essentialzyme between the meals to help break up the plaque in the colon and absorb the toxins. If you look online on the Young Living site, they're telling you to take it with meals or next to meals. So there's some subtle differences in what's been recommended. I don't think that either one is wrong in how you approach it. I think it's just 2 different approaches that you could try. So you're continuing with the Comfortone, you're adding in the ICP to bulk things up and to carry more volume away and out of the colon. And you're adding the enzymes in. You could either take 2 Detoxzyme between every meal, or you could be taking 2 Essentialzyme between the meals. And the goal is that you want to be having like 3 good bowel movements, 2 to 3 good bowel movements a day with the ICP. And you're going to keep cleansing, and ideally, she says, until there's sort of a lining that coats the bowel that comes out. And she says that 1 good colon cleanse can take care of most problems for the year. That's assuming you're going to, like, if you haven't had the most ideal diet, it's been a lot of junk food, a lot of white flour, that you instead have flipped it to eating a lot more of the fresh vegetables and fresh fruits and ancient grains or whole grains. But if you're not changing your diet, then you probably are going to need to be doing that cleanse again. So it's just one simple thing that you can do is a gentle cleanse, and Young Living makes it super easy by providing us with the trio.